Hey, welcome back to Tuesday afternoon.
Hi everybody, it's Tuesday and welcome back. And today I'm making Sonic.exe, and this character might not be for everyone. So if you don't want to watch it, that's okay. But I thought it would be great to show texture on the skin and wrinkling on the skin and some little details that I haven't shared before. So if you think you want to watch, that would be great. We're going to start with original sculpting, and we're going to use aluminum foil as the base. I always put down some wax paper when I need to get my aluminum foil very tight, so you might put down an extra layer of wax paper. We're going to smooth over the clay the minimum amount onto the aluminum foil, and then we're going to make an eye like the Among Us character. Now I'm starting the upper portion of the eye. This is the lid that goes over the eye. Smooth that out really nice, and then use your tool to define your edge. I try to include all the details I can, but this character takes hours to make. I think it was a total of 36 hours. So I can't include everything, but I include the main parts. And I'm not sure that somebody would want to watch 36 hours of footage. But in the future, if people are interested in it, I might include a channel membership where I show raw footage of me working on very detailed areas. Let me know if you guys are interested in that, because it would be a little bit of extra work for me. Otherwise, this footage would be deleted. So let me know. When you're sculpting the top of the head, pay attention to its shape. Make sure that you get it right. I'm going off of the most recent Sonic.exe indie game that I saw Markiplier play. The reference I'm using is there's a point at the beginning of the indie game where Sonic is standing. The screen glitches and he's standing and he has a wide eye, and then it flashes to a very large eye. But I loved really the depiction of him with very long legs and long arms, and I couldn't quite see his mouth. So in the beginning I was gonna do a smirk, and then I changed my mind and I wanted to do this full grin, and I wanted his teeth to actually have like a look like a grill of a car. So that's what I was going for. So I just kind of removed the clay, and I'm going to go ahead and put that in the oven for 275 for 28 minutes. And here I'm just going to smooth it onto the surface after it's been baked, and I'm going to make sure it's nice and even so it has that grill effect, like a car grill. I just love it. I think it looks good. Next, we're going to make the body. I've shown this before. Just a piece of wire, the length that you want the torso, cover it in foil, and then put polymer clay over that. Remember the shape of his body. Just pay attention to it. And then we're just going to do all the fine detail work on his chest area. We're going to make like a fissure that would be in the ground on his chest, and we're going to do like little crevice lines. I want it to kind of look like it's been broken away. So that's what I'm trying to get here. And then later I'm going to make some little pull marks, like it's being pulled to the side. I think it adds a lot of nice detailing, and when we're going to paint it, it's going to look amazing. And then when we do the pastel work, I really feel like it's going to look great. So after we get this chest area done, we're going to move on to the legs. I'm going to take a piece of wire and I'm going to have it slightly curved like this, with the foot area on the end. I'm going to have a little bit of extra area to go up into the body, and I'm going to cover this in aluminum foil. Make sure that it's very tight and that it's very thin, because his legs kind of bell out. This is what it looks like on the body. But we're going to put the polymer clay on it, and then we're going to attach it to the body. So I'm just going to smooth the polymer clay over the aluminum foil all the way down. And as I'm adding clay to the leg, I want to have some ridges and bumps I want it imperfect because it is an imperfect version of Sonic, kind of contorted and stretched. So that's what I'm going for. Next, we're going to add his socks on. This is a perfect area to add some realistic details and not make his shoes quite as perfect as Sonic's are. In fact, I'm going to make them so they're hanging down like they're depicted in the glitched menu. Kind of disheveled. A really easy way to create a wrinkle is to use the side of your tool and then smooth it out with your finger if there is any harsh lines. We're going to make the sole and then we're going to move on to the strap on the shoe. I'm just going to roll out some polymer clay, use a straight edge to cut it out, apply it to the shoe, and next we're doing the buckle. I think the buckle is a nice area to add some of those imperfections. So I'm going to go ahead and do that, but I'm going to make sure it looks realistic and that it's actually setting correctly. So just smooth out all the edges, but maybe add some warped areas to the buckle. Once you're done with the legs, you're going to want to attach them to the torso and just attach them how you want them to be standing. And after that, I went ahead and put it in the oven again for 28 minutes. If you think you're going to be able to sculpt the hands and the arms, then you can go ahead and put them in the oven at the same time. But I wasn't sure I was going to be able to, so I went ahead and put it in the oven. Here I'm sculpting the hands, and it's very easy to do. I just want them kind of nightmarish, if if I can say that. And I want them kind of like their claws. So that's how I ended up sculpting them. And I'm going to do them as one large piece. And I'm not going to put wiring in because they're very thick. And these hands are a lot larger than the smaller sculptures. So they're not going to be likely to break. And I'm going to go ahead and put the detailing in the wrist. I want them kind of look like they are stressed. So there's a lot of tension in the arm and in the hand. And I'm going to work on the wrinkling. We want this very realistic. And I'm not going to put gloves over. I think this is a perfect opportunity to say, hey, this isn't Sonic. This is something else. I want the hands to kind of have almost like they're dry. And I'm going to make some pitting in the hands. I want it very detailed. And I can show a lot of techniques for achieving kind of a skin effect. Don't forget to add some wrinkling to the joints where the knuckles are. Please like and subscribe if you like my content. I would really appreciate it. And I want to be able to help people make the sculptures that they want, and hopefully my channel can grow and it can do that. Also, when you like and subscribe to my content, it helps me know that I am putting the right information out there and I am making the videos that people want to see. I'm making content that people enjoy and that is actually helping people. So if you could do that, that would really help. And if you don't really like it or you think I can improve on something, please let me know below. So, thank you. This is so fun. I love to work on hands and see them come together. I actually made the nail beds earlier, so now I am working on the claws, the nails at the very end. And I'm refining the nail bed here. I put on some extra clay for the nails. I want like a hooked like appearance, kind of snaggled, you know. I want this detailing of this kind of hooked nail. When you're working on this area, you want there to be appearance of being two layers. So we're going to go a little bit underneath to create that effect. And we're going to add a little bit of a different texture on the second level. Here I'm making a pull away effect, kind of worn skin area. So make sure you go under here making those 2 layers. This will create an amazing effect, and when you paint this, you're going to be so proud of it. You're going to really feel like you accomplished something. I'm really wanting to show how to do this because it's really easy, and I feel like people might see it as something difficult, but it's not, and it's a lot of fun. So I'm going to finish off all the little detailing on the hands, and then next we're going to move on to the arm portion of the limb. And this is just going to be a piece of wire. But we're not going to put any aluminum foil onto it. I'm going to mix my channel up a bit. I don't want to just keep doing the same characters from the same series. I know not everybody likes a particular video game or something, so I want to make something for everybody. Next, on this video, you're going to want to put in the hole in the wrist so the wire can go down into. And you're going to have a shoulder area, and then the wire is going to slowly slope like this. We're going to insert that into the hand, and then we're going to smooth the clay on to the wire. And remember, as we're going, we do want kind of twists and imperfections in the arm. So I'm going to add some ridges and some bumps in, and I'm going to do some pitting and detailing as I go. Of course, when I get this done, I can put more detail in, but I actually am just trying to get a feel to what the arm is going to look like. And I'm going to put some pitting in and some of those second layers into the arm, and then I'm going to bake that in the oven to 25 minutes. Remember that there might be some discoloration in the arm afterwards, but it's going to be a tan color. Just don't over bake it and make it brittle. I'm going to use black and blue for the coloring for Sonic, but you're not going to use any of the white. I went ahead and put it there, but I didn't end up using any of it. I'm just dry brushing this on, smoothing it out, and doing some of the detailing around the eye. I did this fairly quickly because I didn't think you really needed this. And at this point, I'm just really laying the colors down, and the fine detailing comes later. I'm using acrylic paint, very easy to find paint. You can find it at pretty much any craft store. Here I'm just putting down the flesh tones, and then we're going to work on the second layer of the skin, and it's just a really thin red, and then we're going to come back in and we're going to come along the edges, and we're going to add more red to kind of underneath of that layer. I'm going to let some of the red paint kind of go up onto the top layer, and then I'm going to smooth it away. But we're just going to let each layer dry and then add another layer of red paint, adding some black into it to give it some dimension. But here you can see where I'm adding it onto the surface and rubbing it a little bit to give it that kind of red, kind of irritated kind of skin color, but also like it's been smeared a little bit. So I'm just adding that, and I'm kind of adding it to the ridges, to the areas outside of the actual second layer. So here it is so far, and I'm going to add it into all the crevices. So I think that looks pretty good. Not done with the detailing in the ends because we're going to add some pastel a little bit later, but I did want to add that the arms are not glued in. I want to be able to change the arms out and make some separate arms, and there isn't really a need to glue them in. Here I'm adding some red paint to the cracks in the chest, and here I'm adding the pastel. I'm using a brown and black color, just adding some dirty areas, and I also added a little bit of brown pencil. It gives you kind of a effect of dirt and maybe some scratch marks. I'm just going along the crevices and adding in some fine detailing, and I'm actually highlighting the pulled areas and the crevices in the chest. Really loving how this chest turned out. I'm glad I put in the little pulled areas, and I'm going to add some scuffed areas to the legs. You know, it's just the way that you feel it should look, because there really isn't a set way for Sonic.exe to look. I'm going to dirty and scuff up his shoes and add some detailing in with the pastel on his socks and kind of really show all those wrinkles in his socks. I'm going to move on and paint the buckles yellow, and then after that dries, I'm going to come back with some gold paint and kind of just scrub it onto the surface and rub it on with my finger. I just want an old look, and I think it really adds to the shoes. Next, we're going to paint his nose, and we're going to also go along the edge of the eye and paint that. Here I'm just filling in where the black is on the mouth and inside the mouth, and I'm going to wipe it away. You want kind of a thin paint to get into all those little crevices. And then I'm going to just put some smears of paint running down from his mouth, and I might even add a little bit of red just to kind of give it a very grungy look. I'm going to also put it down onto the chest so it looks like it ran out of his mouth and onto his chest. Here is the black area under his eye. We're just adding that for effect. If you have any questions, please let me know below. And really, you don't have to add these little details. I just thought it was a good opportunity to be able to show kind of the different effects that you could add to one of your characters. I really hope this content helps, and I can help somebody make a character they've always wanted, or their own character, and that would be just so cool to think that I was able to help somebody. And I want to pass on what I've learned and kind of my years of selling my sculptures and what people enjoy and what they like, and it would just be incredible to know that somebody was able to make a sculpture because of my video. So let me know below if one of my videos helped you make a sculpture of your own, or if you made like a character sculpture. You can always tag me on my Instagram at just Tuesday afternoon. I know my Instagram isn't really totally based on my art, but it is my Instagram account, so that's a good way to kind of send me what you've made. Just tag me though. That would be great. I did some pencil veining on the eye. I don't want the veining to be too noticeable, but I do want the red areas to be noticeable. So I'm just going to use some red pastel, and I'm going to blend that on, and I'm also going to do some black pastel and blend that on. Here I'm going to do a variety of eyes. You can leave it white, because at the glitched green it was totally white. I also saw this round eye and a kind of reptile eye. Here's a wide eye. And then I'm showing you how to do some kind of spooky effects if you want just kind of a slit reptile eye. So I removed some of the paint, and then I'm using some rubbing alcohol, and I'm blending out the black paint. Let that black paint dry where you've blended it out, and then I'm just gonna make some fine kind of detailing shape on the eye. Here I'm adding a little bit of red pastel, and I did add some pencil veining. You can kind of see it shining. Just kind of add some spooky effects if you want them. And then I'm going to seal that with polyurethane. This is the type I always use on my sculptures. And this is 3 layers, and it is currently drying. So you can see I added it into the fissures and kind of the second layers. Anything I wanted kind of shiny, I'm going to add that. It is going to be a display piece, so I don't plan on it being bumped very often. And I think it's done. What do you think? Let me know below if you are going to make it, and what you think of this creepypasta Sonic.exe character. I thought it was kind of fun, and I enjoy mixing up a bit. Let me know if you like that. If you just want one kind of series of characters, or if you like to see kind of a mix of different characters. I kind of want to meet everybody's needs, but I also want to do what my subscribers and my audience want to see. I hope I included everything that you needed, and I just love making these videos. Let me know below if you're going to make it and if you enjoyed it. Subscribe if you like my content. I truly appreciate it. I hope you all have a beautiful day. Bye.